One of the Buccaneers star receivers is going to have a big day on Sunday. David puts the fate of this game in the hands of someone who has struggled in his career against the Saints, but why all of this leads to a Tampa Bay win and clinching the NFC South title on this episode of the Locked On Bucs podcast. Let's dive in.
You are Locked On Buccaneers, your daily Tampa Bay Buccaneers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, and welcome to the Locked On Bucs podcast, free and available on all platforms, including YouTube. Thanks to friends like On Location. On Location is the official hospitality partner of the NFL, and it is the only place to score a once-in-a-lifetime Super Bowl ticket and experience package. Visit onlocation.exp.com/SB56 for more information, or search Super Bowl On Location. I'm James Yarko, joined as always by David Harrison. You can find everything that we are doing over at BucsNation.com. Make sure you follow along on Twitter at LockedOnBucs, at JYarko_Bucs, at DHarrison82, and at Bucs_Nation.
I would thank you again, Bucs Nation, for making this show your first listen, your first view every single day. And of course, it's our final look at this game, James, before the weekend's matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I'm going to kick it off right now with my key to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning. And if you watch the crossover episode that dropped yesterday that I do with Ross Jackson, the host of Locked On Saints podcast, then this is going to be a little bit repetitive, but bear with me here. The last time these two teams met, one team outgained the other by almost 80 yards of total offense, 421 yards offense for one side, 72 yards for the other. One team went 8 for 13 on third downs, while the other went 5 for 14 on third downs. One of these teams also had 11 penalties. That's the team that lost this game because the Buccaneers torpedoed their chances to defeat the New Orleans Saints, because the Buccaneers outplayed the Saints in every statistical category that you can look at, which usually leads to a win, right? Especially when you're talking about this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. So why did they lose? Not just the penalties, 2 interceptions thrown by Tom Brady that came out of the hands of Tom Brady, a fumble that came out of the hands of Tom Brady, 3 drives given away to the New Orleans Saints. You can't do that. That's 3 drives out of probably 12 in your average game. So you're talking about almost a third of your entire possession given up to the opponent. I don't care who you're playing in the National Football League. This league is known for its parity. It's the best professional sports league in the world because of the parity. You give away 3 possessions, 3 opportunities. That's 9 to 21 points you're sacrificing on your own to any opponent. You're just opening the door to getting beat. The Buccaneers aren't going to do that. That's a kind of a bold prediction. The Buccaneers aren't going to do that this week. That's not an option. Like they can't do that again this week and expect to win this game.
Yeah, well, I mean, I mentioned it on the WTSP Wednesday episode. We mentioned it after the first loss to the New Orleans Saints. In the years the Buccaneers have won a Super Bowl, they got swept in the regular season by the New Orleans Saints both times. So it's not the worst thing in the world if the Bucs lose, because the precedent has been set, but I'm so sick of the Saints. Can we stop this? And I have to say, David, I'm a little disappointed in you.
Yeah.
Because on the crossover,
you're not alone.
The crossover was fantastic. You and Ross always bring the heat, but you took your shots at Taysom Hill, which I appreciated, and you failed to call him Diet Tebow in my honor.
That's your thing, though. Yeah, I'm not going to steal that. No, you should appreciate that. I'm not going to steal the creation of that amazing nickname. That's yours, and I will leave that for you to execute.
As James would call him, Diet Tebow, since I couldn't call in and troll Ross.
It's not the same.
You're right.
It's like if Stone Cold got in the ring and in honor of The Rock started throwing around some of the rocks. Like it doesn't work.
All right. I was hoping for it. That's all. I was more disappointed than anything. It made me sad.
No, I appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, Diet Tebow, on the field against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, obviously that's going to be one of the keys to this game as well. But James, you have your key to the game coming up. But before we get to your key, Yusef out in Phoenix, actually, he dropped a game review or a reaction to the Buccaneers win over the Buffalo Bills. We had a lot of voicemails come in, guys. You guys are amazing in the voicemail line. Yusef's not the only one that we weren't able to get to, unfortunately, but we appreciate you guys calling in. If you didn't get on the air, keep calling in. We will get you guys. We like to spread it out as much as we can if we get some new names and some new blood in there. So we will do the best that we can. But Yusef did drop a little bit of a perspective message to members of Bucs Nation that I think we can play here as we get ready to move into your key to this weekend's matchup.
There's one thing going through my mind today being a Bucs fan at 10-3. Be thankful. This is Yusuf out here in Phoenix. We have one of the best quarterbacks in this league in Tom Brady. Bruce Arians, the best general manager in this league, and Jason Light, in my opinion, of course, and some of the best talent in this league as far as players go. We have nothing to complain about, guys. We all complain about play calling and, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, take a step back here. You won the Super Bowl last year. We're about to win our division this year. And before you know it, all this will have to be rebuilt. I'm just saying, live in the moment a little bit, guys. This is a great time to be a Bucs fan. As you guys know, not getting too high, but not too low. And as always, go Bucs.
All right, Yusuf, appreciate the phone call, man. And yeah, just a little bit of perspective to kind of build off what Yusuf just said there. In my experiences, there's enough hate in the world already, and that's the way I'm going to approach this. So as much as I want the Buccaneers to win, I'm not going to resort to being hateful on their way, hopefully, right, to Super Bowl 56 and back-to-back Super Bowl titles for the first time, obviously, in franchise history and the first time in a while. Super Bowl 56 will be at SoFi Stadium, and it's less than 100 days away. And our title sponsor for today's episode, On Location, is the official hospitality partner of the NFL, and it's the only place to score a once-in-a-lifetime Super Bowl ticket and experience package. Select your exact seats and choose from elite experiences featuring exclusive pregame celebration with NFL legends, 5-star LA hotels, and food by the great Wolfgang Puck. Visit onlocationexp.com/SB56 or search Super Bowl On Location. Again, that's onlocationexp.com/SB56 or search Super Bowl On Location.
Now, look, I made my fantasy playoffs, but now my entire team is either hurt or has COVID. So I'm relegated to starting Ronald Jones as my running back in the fantasy playoffs. But something that can help that out is jumping in to daily fantasy, and no one plays daily fantasy sports to lose. Winning feels so much better. Traditional fantasy sports are a long-term losing proposition because you never know who or what you're up against. Stat Hero is the first of its kind of daily fantasy sports where it's you versus the house in a head-to-head fantasy matchup, winner take all. The crazy part is Stat Hero shows you their lineups before you even play. So you handpick the team that you want to face one-on-one. This never-before-seen innovation of a fantasy sports and sports betting hybrid has Stat Hero players clocking odds that are over 4 times better. Why? Because you don't have to compete against thousands of experts or unknowns. Stat Hero puts you in control of your fate. Stat Hero head-to-head is what daily fantasy should be. One-on-one. Sign up for free right now at stathero.com/lockedon and use promo code LOCKEDON for a 100% deposit match. That's stathero.com/lockedon. Use promo code LOCKEDON for a 100% match. stathero.com/lockedon. Promo code LOCKEDON. Terms and conditions apply.
Segment 2 here at the Locked On Bucs podcast. Appreciate you guys making this show your first listener, first view every single day. James Yarko, my partner over there, dancing on Twitter at JYarko_Bucs. I am at DHarrison82. And James, we had a little bit of a message, right, to Bucs Nation from Yusuf out there in Phoenix. And we've got a question coming from Tyler out in Boston.
What's up, boys? Tyler from Boston. I have a question for you guys. I will be in Florida for the Saints game, back home for the holidays. I'm really excited to watch that game. And I have a what's more likely question on the topic of records. We know that Mike Evans would be, I think, the first player to start an 8-year career with 1,000 yards. He needs 115, I believe, to get there. What's more likely, that Mike Evans has a 115-yard game and locks up that record next week, or that our boy Chris Godwin has another, I'm going to go 9 receptions. Mike Evans, 115 yards, or Chris Godwin, 9 or more receptions. Love to hear what you guys think.
All right, Tyler, appreciate the question. Appreciate the call, of course. And listen, I mean, I kind of say, why can't both of these things happen, right? But if I have to say which one's more likely to happen, I'm going to have to go with Chris Godwin getting 9 or more catches. Mike Evans, his history against the New Orleans Saints, it is what it is. And Marshawn Lattimore in that matchup is always a great thing to watch. I feel like if I have to choose which one is more likely to happen, I think the odds just point to Chris Godwin having 9 or more receptions over Mike Evans potentially hitting 1,000 yards. in this game simply because of the potential matchups that each guy is going to face.
Yeah, and speaking of matchups, David, I'm going to go ahead and jump into my key to the game, and that is take what you can get. Right? I mean, don't press the issue, don't force things. That's when we've seen, surprisingly, Tom Brady get into some mistakes. He has forced some bad throws. He has made some bad decisions trying to jumpstart this offense that has struggled in those regular season matchups since he arrived against the New Orleans Saints. Take what you can get. Take little chunks. 5 yards, 7 yards, 4 yards, 9 yards, because all of those are going to add up. You don't need to worry about the deep shot. Stay committed to Leonard Fournette running out of the backfield, or if you want to help my fantasy team, give it to Ronald Jones a couple of times, but I've conceded that I lost in the first round. But you take what the defense is willing to give you because they will give you something. It's a matter of exploiting that, not trying to force the ball to Mike Evans in double coverage, not trying to force an out route to the far sideline and putting yourself in a position to throw another pick six, not forcing the ball into double coverage against Rob Gronkowski. Just move the ball slowly, methodically, and finish off drives with points. Because if you take what they will give you, you will win this game handedly.
Yeah. And in a previous life, James, I was part of an SRT, a special response team, and our motto was slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And we're not the only ones to say that, obviously. We didn't invent it either. Yeah, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And I mean, that's something that the Buccaneers have had success with this season. We saw them kind of open it up a little bit more against the Buffalo Bills. I think everybody was excited by that. I think everybody wants to see a little bit more of that. But again, take it when it's there, right? Don't try to force the issue. Use, like you mentioned, Rob Gronkowski, Leonard Fournette, all of that stuff to kind of build it. And honestly, if Leonard Fournette gets going early in this game, I think the Saints defense is going to have no choice but to start kind of crowding the box, playing a little bit up. And that's, of course, the classic play action setup. I mean, that's just NFL. That's just football 101. Doesn't matter what level you're at. A running game, a strong running game or short passing game with your running back opens up the deep passing game. But of course, in order for Leonard Fournette to have an impact in this game, James, he's got to get on the field. And at least according to Thursday's practice, the part of the session open to media, Leonard Fournette not on the field at practice. Of course, Wednesday, he was also apparently not at practice. Instead, he was trying to figure out how to download Grand Theft Auto onto his computer. Some people had some fun with that. Hopefully he got that fixed. It's a fun game. And I hope he got to enjoy himself a little bit. Jamel Dean, Richard Sherman, Antoine Winfield Jr., all also not on the practice field during the session open to media again. And Greg Auman of The Athletic did a great job of reiterating this on Twitter. We need to reiterate to you, just because they weren't there for the session, open to the media, doesn't mean they weren't there at all. Doesn't mean they won't play. It's just kind of a grain of salt thing. But then Jordan Whitehead practicing again this week, dealing with that calf injury. So, trending up. I don't know if, time to get excited for him maybe playing against New Orleans, but trending up. Of course, the final dispositions for all those guys will be coming on Friday afternoon. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's good to see Jordan Whitehead trending in that direction. We want to see that continue. I doubt he plays this weekend. We'll find out tomorrow. But, I want to see him out on the practice field, get him ready. Hopefully he returns against the Jets, has a couple of warm-up games before the playoff run starts. If you are a risk taker, a thrill seeker, you might be willing to bet on the Buccaneers minus 10.5. I am not that brave, but if you are, head to our friends over at Betonline.ag because they have you covered all season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before as football season continues to march towards the playoffs. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the sports action this season. Head to the new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit with promo code LOCKEDON. Again, promo code LOCKEDON, LOCKEDON, to get a 50% welcome deposit bonus. From basketball, football, NHL, boxing, UFC, right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.
This holiday season, grab the protein bar that tastes like a candy bar or even better than a candy bar. I had a cookies and cream Built Bar as I was getting ready to record this episode with you, James. And it's one of your favorites. It's one of my favorites. That cookies and cream Built Bar is absolutely on point. It's filled with so much holiday goodness, rich and decadent flavor, covered in chocolate, but it's amazingly low in calories, sugar, net carbs, and fat, while being high in protein. You get the best of both worlds. It's delicious and it's healthy. And there's so many flavors. You got cookies and cream. Strawberry is one of my favorites when it's available. Mint brownie, peanut butter brownie. There's so many other options. The lemon cheesecake puff bar. I'm honestly not a huge fan of marshmallow, but that lemon cheesecake puff bar was amazing. Built Bar gives you the extra fuel you need for work. Nobody wants to work in December, right? Whatever you're doing, shopping, however you're living your life, Built Bar can give you the gas to get going. People are so passionate about their favorite flavors. We will literally argue about them in a professional work setting, like a professional private message amongst NFL show hosts. Not being specific, just kind of a general gas throw it at the wall, see if it sticks type of thing. Coconut. Not the greatest flavor in the world. Anyway, tell Santa to throw a few Built Bars your way into your stockings because you deserve it. Dip your Built Bar into a piping hot cup of cocoa, like some of those marshmallowy treats I was just talking about this holiday season. Go to Built.com, use promo code LOCK15, and you get 15% off your order. Again, that promo code is LOCK15. You get 15% off at Built.com.
Wrapping things up here on a final Friday preview edition of the Locked On Bucs podcast. And unlike Urban Meyer, David Harrison and myself showed up to work today. You can find us on Twitter at @JYarko_Bucs, at DHarrison82. David, before we get into all of our predictions, we do have a voicemail from Mad Dog, and he's going to join in on the segment 3 fun.
Hey, what's up, Jack? This is Mad Dog in the District of Communism, visiting my daughter. I am from St. Pete, Florida. And my comment is I'm going to make a bold prediction on the upcoming game. Lombardi, Lenny is going to run for a century, get one tutty, and he's going to be instrumental in keeping the Saints offense off the field. I think that's the key to the game. They're going to get a whole lot of Lenny, and I think Brady will throw for 2 tutties, and I think Gronk may also get one. Final prediction on the score, 30-27. What are your thoughts? Go Bucs and fire those cannons.
Mad Dog, thank you very much for the call. I like the predictions. I'm gonna disagree with a little bit of it, but we're gonna get to that in just a minute. But I think it's gonna be a tight game, like you do. I love the idea. Obviously, I mentioned it in my key to the game of just pounding the ball with Leonard Fournette, have long, sustained drives, chew up a lot of clock, and really just control the game from the outset. It doesn't have to be like a 24-3 at halftime like it was against Buffalo, but control the game, control the clock, and control your destiny to an NFC South crown.
Absolutely, and I love those predictions. I like all of those predictions. We'll see what James has to say and what he disagrees with. But moving into our players and our own predictions for this game, my player of the game is going to be Lavonte David. I almost went Devin White, but I'm going to go Lavonte David for a different reason. Obviously, Devin and Lavonte kind of serve a little bit of the same role, right? For one, you're going to help contain Taysom Hill as a running quarterback. You're going to help contain Alvin Kamara coming out of the backfield in coverage, and you're also going to do some work in the middle of the field against the intermediate passing game. But for Lavonte David, it's the tendency to create turnovers and takeaways for the defense that I'm looking for. And I expect Lavonte David to force at least one, if not 2 fumbles, and potentially at least one of those ends up in the hands of the Buccaneers. Again, like we were talking about in our keys, my key at the top of the show, not giving away possessions. Well, on the defensive side, you want to take away possessions. Taysom Hill, as much as we make jokes and all that stuff, we have seen that he does have the capability to put some drives together and to lead that team into some points on the scoreboard. The more possessions you can take away from him, from a guy like Lavonte David, the more pressure you put on Taysom Hill, the less likely he is to be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. But as much as we've seen Taysom Hill put together drives, there's nothing I would enjoy seeing more than the Bucs win this game the way they beat the Bears or beat the Dolphins. Like, can we make that a thing?
That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun.
Well, if that happens, a big part of it is going to be my predicted player of the game. And my player and my bold are pretty much linked together. My predicted player of the game is Chris Godwin. Godwin has been on an absolute tear. Nobody on the Buccaneers has more receptions than Godwin since the arrival of Tom Brady. That's going to continue into this week because my bold prediction, here you go, Tyler. This is why I didn't answer your voicemail before, because I'm dropping it right here. Chris Godwin, for the third consecutive week, is going to get double-digit receptions. And David, what did you mention earlier this week about what the Buccaneers have done in their wins since losing to the New Orleans Saints?
Make history. That's all.
They've made history. If Chris Godwin were to get those double-digit receptions for the third straight week, he will break the record for most receptions by a Buccaneer in a 3-game span. It's currently held by Mike Evans, who had 32. So Godwin doesn't even need double digits, but if he gets those, he for sure will make history again for the Buccaneers in a win. And on top of that, Chris Godwin is going to have more receiving yards than all other Buccaneer pass catchers combined. And going back to Mad Dog, if you're saying that Brady's only going to have 2 touchdowns, this is where I disagree with you. Both of them going to Godwin.
All right. 2 touchdown passes to Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin, the player of the game. That's a lot of CG-14 love going down on the Locked On Bucs podcast. I'm here for it. I'm here for it every single day.
Blessing of the week.
My bold prediction for this game is going to be that Tom Brady has no turnovers. And listen, I know Tom Brady's usually off limits. We're not allowed to use Tom Brady as our player of the game. We're not allowed to use Tom Brady usually in our bold predictions. But listen, Tom Brady in his career against the New Orleans Saints has thrown interceptions in 63% of those games. In 8 games against the New Orleans Saints in his career, and this obviously goes back to before he was in Tampa, Tom Brady has thrown 10 interceptions against the New Orleans Saints in 8 games. And those aren't all like the Marshawn Lattimore era New Orleans Saints. Like, there is something. It's almost like the Giants, right? There is something with Tom Brady against New Orleans Saints that just does not mesh. But this is the best quarterback to ever play the game. This is one of the best mental quarterbacks to ever play the game. I look for Tom to get the show together, to get everything right, and of course to deliver an NFC South title. Just the 4th, as Ross Jackson pointed out on the crossover, just the 4th NFC South title since the NFC South was created. I look for Tom Brady to put it all together and to bring it in for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this game. James, my score prediction, the Buccaneers, like you mentioned, 10.5 points favorites in this game. Ross and I expressed that we were not comfortable with that line, but I have the Buccaneers winning 35-21.
That's a lot of points, but I get it. I do. I get it. The Buccaneers are averaging over 30 a game at home. You would expect that their defense would be able to contain a Taysom Hill, Diet Tebow level of Saints offense that has struggled over the course of the last 6 weeks, where they are 1-5. But that's still a big line. I look at the division. I look at how close these games have been, regardless of who's good, who's bad.
Yeah.
Not always. I get it. Don't at me in the comments, Saints fans. I get it. Blowout on Sunday Night Football last year and plenty of times there. But you go back and you look, even when the Buccaneers teams were bad, you had a Chris Godwin game-winning touchdown in the final minute of the final game. You had Ryan Fitzpatrick blow them up in New Orleans, all those things. So I think it's going to be a little bit closer. I'm going Buccaneers 24-21.
Yeah, you know what? We had a comment on YouTube on the crossover real quick, James, that said it doesn't matter if the Buccaneers win by 3, doesn't matter if the Buccaneers win by more. A win is a win. That's all you need. And listen, I'm on that page, but let's not pretend Bucs fans aren't going to not melt down, but have some problems if the Buccaneers only come away with 3-point win.
Maybe, but I guess it really depends on how the game plays out. We'll see. We'll see it all go down on Sunday Night Football. Until then, David, we are out of here. Thank you to Yusef, to Tyler, and to Mad Dog for your calls. If you want to send in your reaction to the game, give us a call at 813-444-5841. And we thank you for making Locked On Bucs your first listen or first watch every day, free and available on all platforms. Make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube page. But for your second listen today, go ahead and fire up the Locked On Bets podcast, your daily one-stop shop for all your gambling needs. Locked On Bets, hosted by your boy Q, with expert analysis and insight from Lee Sterling. Check out everything David and I are doing over at BucsNation.com. Make sure you're following on Twitter at LockedOnBucs, at JYarko_Bucs, at DHarrison82, and at Bucs_Nation. Hope you all have an absolutely outstanding weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, wash your hands, be good to one another. We thank you so much for joining us right here at Locked On Bucs.